Preface, Forward, and Chapter 1 of the Man-Eaters of Tsavo. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Man-Eaters of Tsavo by J. H. Patterson. Preface, Forward, and Chapter 1. Preface. It is with feelings of the greatest diffidence that I place the following pages before the public. But those of my friends who happen to have heard of my rather unique experiences in the wilds have so often urged me to write an account of my adventures that after much hesitation I at last determined to do so. I have no doubt that many of my readers, who have perhaps never been very far away from civilization, will be inclined to think that some of the incidents are exaggerated. I can only assure them that I have toned down the facts rather than otherwise, and have endeavored to write a perfectly plain and straightforward account of things as they actually happened. It must be remembered that at the time these events occurred, the conditions prevailing in British East Africa were very different from what they are today. The railway, which has modernized the aspect of the place and brought civilization in its train, was then only in process of construction, and the country through which it was being built was still in its primitive savage state, as indeed, away from the railway, it still is. If this simple account of 2 years' work and play in the wild should prove of any interest, or even help in a small way to call attention to the beautiful and valuable country which we possess on the equator, I shall feel more than compensated for the trouble I have taken in writing it. I am much indebted to the Honourable Mrs. Cyril Ward, Sir Guilford Molesworth, K.C.I.E., Mr. T.J. Spooner, and Mr. C. Rawson for their kindness in allowing me to reproduce photographs taken by them. My warmest thanks are also due to that veteran pioneer of Africa, Mr. F. C. Sellis, for giving my little book so kindly an introduction to the public as is provided by the foreword which he has been good enough to write. J. H. P. August, 1907. Foreword. It was some 7 or 8 years ago that I first read in the pages of the Field newspaper a brief account written by Colonel J. H. Patterson, then an engineer engaged on the construction of the Uganda Railway, of the Tsavo man-eating lions. My own long experience of African hunting told me at once that every word in this thrilling narrative was absolutely true. Nay more, I knew that the author had told his story in a most modest manner, laying but little stress on the dangers he had run when sitting up at nights to try and encompass the death of the terrible man-eaters, especially on that one occasion when, whilst watching from a very light scaffolding, supported only by 4 rickety poles, he was...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?